Michael Scully, you are responsible for BMW M design, and you have a former career designing really sports car, performance cars.
Race cars.
Race cars,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So tell me all about it.
Yeah, I mean,
we have like 3 hours.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm interested in racing as well and participate in racing, and so for me, that's part of what's in my blood. And you know, as a brand for BMW M, that's actually the same sort of DNA for BMW M. So born on the racetrack, made for the streets, is really our mantra, but it's also literally how we do things. Like, for example, my team is responsible for the race car design, but also the show car design and the production cars. And in that way, we get that transfer of approach and mentality, and also just basic design thinking into our production cars. And that's really no other way to do it for BMW M, I think.
Yeah. So how does it differ designing normal road cars and performance road cars, like the M versions?
I think from an approach standpoint, there's very little difference, actually, because with a race car, we would have nothing extra. It would only be boiled down to the performance essence. And that literally is how we approach this car as well. Yeah. And that reductionism and getting down to the bare essentials of performance is really how we've approached this car, and also an entire forthcoming portfolio of products that will be available to the customer.
So talk us through the design clues of this car.
Yeah, at the front you see the yellow icon lights.
Yes.
And they're paired together with these cubic track lights. And if you look at our...
so this is the main light for driving, or?
So this is like, if you look, for example, at our LMDH hypercar, that just finished second at Le Mans and qualified on pole, it has the same constellation. And that's something that I think brings the width to the car.
Yes,
and it brings your eyes outward.
It's very wide.
Yeah. And I also think the yellow, not only does it reference motorsport and the fact that that's actually used as a color code within certain divisions of racing, but it also makes the car's expression about the eyes. And so if you look at a person and you want to know, like, what's your intent?
Yeah.
You know, what's your focus?
Yeah.
You would look at them in the eyes.
Yeah, you
right?
would. You would.
Yeah. And there's so much that you can see from the eyes.
You read
and
the
that
person.
Focused, determined expression, right? And that's very intentional to make it about the eyes and get the width. But then that's also counterbalanced by this central valley that comes down into the trimaran in the center. And this trimaran gives us a chance to support this very high downforce front splitter.
It's huge.
Yeah, but it also gives us a chance to have a shark nose. And that shark nose is when this point is significantly farther ahead than this point. And so it has that forward lean, right? And that forward lean that's really when you see that intention forward, like urging the car forward.
Once it's like, oh, I want to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's very important, I think, as a constellation to get the width, but also the intention of the car and that determined expression.
So what does this shark nose, the backwards, do for the aerodynamics? Is it bad or good?
In that area of the car, obviously, the downforce is important. It's the central area. And of course, the care and feeding of the cooling for these 4 electric motors is quite important. And so that is a very important area aerodynamically. And we've done everything we can do to really optimize that, because the motors are quite performant and they do need cooling. And that cooling is actually enhanced by this central outlet on the top of the hood. So for example, on an internal combustion car where you might have an engine there, you would certainly never be able to have a cooling outlet there. And we've embraced that opportunity that we have with an electrified package to be able to cool the motors, but also define new potentials for design. And so if you look, there's actually 3 segments to this. And those 3 segments are referencing the 3 bars of the M logo itself.
Right.
We're always building in a bit of meaning in every detail that sometimes is discovered later, but other times is obvious immediately.
But I wonder, this shark nose that goes like this, does it affect the aerodynamics in a bad way because it will lift the car or something?
No. There's certainly no lifting of this car with this front splitter. It's a very, very high downforce, and the profile underneath is optimized. But in addition,
Yes, excuse me, but this is not carbon fiber, right?
That's natural fiber, and that's one of the biggest innovations, let's say, that we're presenting here. Is a replacement for carbon fiber within our production cars, potentially, which is that we have natural fiber, and
what is that?
That's flax fiber.
Flax. And what is flax?
Flax is it's literally a fiber that you can weave into this type of matrix or fabric.
Okay.
And we've been able to find very similar strength to weight characteristics as carbon fiber, but with a 40% reduction in CO2 emissions in the manufacturing process. Yeah.
Understand. Great.
Okay. So
and these are wide.
Yeah. So the wide fenders obviously pronounce the location of the 4 electric motors. But this front fender in particular helps tell the story of the connection to that car, which is the very first M3, the E30.
Yes.
And the E30 M3 was done for motorsport purposes from the very beginning because the race team wanted a faster race car and they needed wider tires. And so they created these add-on box flare fender arches. But the regulations required that that be available to customers in a minimum quantity of, I believe, 5,000.
5,000, okay.
Yeah. So the race team got a faster race car and the customers got a faster production car, and it's this win-win.
And a better looking one as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly athletic and it pronounces its capability.
And here you have also the engines here. Out, sort of.
Yeah, so they're popped out.
Yeah.
And we've treated the surfaces here on the front in a very similar way as we would with the E30 in this box flare construction. But again, it's the chance to pronounce the location of those motors, which again is bringing the powertrain into the discussion as far as what are our icons going forward. And we always want to have a relationship to the powertrain because that's what makes the features authentic and real. And
I love that.
That's also really important because from an aerodynamics perspective, we only have aerodynamic features here which literally work. There's no implied aerodynamic function.
And you don't have any real wing that you can tilt or do anything you can play around with?
Oh, so we have the ducktail spoiler at the rear, and it has this valley in the center, which again sets up this trimaran support of this floating airfoil that goes across these very large rear diffuser tunnels.
Yes.
And we get a significant amount of downforce from that constellation, and it's again a chance that we would only have with an electrified powertrain, because normally you would have on an internal combustion car, for example, you would have a large muffler that you would have to package there.
Yes.
And so now we've opened it up and made it about performance, but in a way that's feasible with an electrified powertrain. And for us, that's really exciting to make those discoveries about what are our performance icons going forward. But again, making sure that it has a relationship to the layout of the vehicle technically.
So it's an advantage for the aerodynamics that you can play around as you like, without the exhaust coming out here.
Exactly, right. Yeah. And so what might in the past have been celebrated as 4 round exhaust pipes can now be celebrated as aerodynamic functionality.
So this is aerodynamically better than the coming ICE version?
I wouldn't say better, I would say treated differently.
Okay.
Because for the ICE family, we have solutions, of course, that are appropriate to that powertrain.
Of course.
And so from an overall perspective, I think the aesthetics of what we've established with this car will be recognizable on the ICE, but the specific solutions where it's related to the powertrain will, of course, be different because that's the whole idea.
Yeah. So difference in design from the ICE and this car is mainly this rear area.
You have to stay tuned.
You have to stay tuned. Have you driven this one?
This one, no.
No? I mean...
No. There's a very limited amount of people that
I mean, not the concept, but the coming the electric version of the.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, and the performance with the 4 engines.
It's astonishing.
Yeah, you have driven that one.
I can tell you that it's astonishing. Yeah.
And is it really fun with the torque vectoring and so on?
Yeah, I mean the driving dynamics for me is something that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And as a driver myself, it's of course what I seek. What BMW is able to deliver and what we've always delivered.
Yeah.
And I think that expectation for the future is very safe in terms of, I think what we bring will be something that people will love.
And you will have some reference to the revs of the engines or the speed, some sort of input for the ears as well.
I think sound is an important topic because sound, at the end of the day, it helps connect the driver to what's happening.
Yeah.
And if it's helping enhance that connection of the driver to the machine or to the activity of driving, then we do it.
Yeah, great. Yep. I understand. So have you driven the ICE version as well?
Not
upcoming?
Yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Which one do you think is going to be more fun to drive?
I don't. I'm sure they will be equally, but maybe differently.
Sure. They will be different, but fantastic in different ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so we look forward for both of them extremely much.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Super.
Pleasure. Yep.
Så här låter den elektriska M3.